The Crane M is one of the most versatile gimbal stabilizers. It supports cameras between 125 grams and 650 grams. Some of the cameras that it supports include GoPros, cell phones like the iPhone 6 that I have here, and other point-and-shoot cameras. As long as the camera is between 125 grams and 650 grams, then the Crane M supports it. On the higher end, you might have a configuration such as a Sony a6300 or a6500, and certain lenses that might work with it. Now, to use a GoPro or an iPhone like I have today, you'll need a 1/4-inch tripod mount at the bottom. So with this, I have an adapter to use with the iPhone. But let's mount this point-and-shoot camera I have and set it up with the Crane M. Now, before we do that, let's take the batteries and place them properly inside the handle of the Crane M and screw it in here. Make sure you screw it in nice and tight so that the battery has a good connection. Then take the gimbal and unscrew this 1/4-inch screw to mount the camera. We can place the camera here. Find where the 1/4-inch screw mount is and screw it into the bottom. Now, before you power on the gimbal, you want to make sure it's balanced so that you don't put extra strain on the Crane M. If it's not balanced, these motors could burn out possibly faster than normal. So make sure it's balanced, and then you won't have any jitters or any noise coming from the gimbal. You can see here that it's flopping to one side, so that means I need to move more weight to the other direction. To do that, I can release this screw here and slide the weight of the gimbal in the opposite direction. Once the gimbal can stay still on its own, you know it's balanced. You can check the other motor axes to make sure they are also balanced. If the gimbal isn't tilting and moving on its own, then you know it's balanced and you're ready to turn it on. To power on the gimbal, we need to hold this power button here until this light starts to flash. You'll then feel the gimbal power on its own. Now, there's a few different modes that we can use while using the Crane M. The first mode is the pan following mode. In this mode, you can pan left and right as you point your hand left and right, but the gimbal motors will keep the camera locked up and down, so there won't be any tilting down or up in this mode. The second mode, if you single press this mode button right here once, it will enter locking mode. In this mode, all the motors are locked, and even if you move your hand up and down, left and right, the camera will stay locked in one position. The next mode we can use is the pan tilt following mode. Double press the mode button, and now we're in more of a freestyle mode. You can move your hand left and right, up and down, and the gimbal will allow the camera to also tilt in those directions smoothly. To return to the previous mode, just single press the mode button once. Now we're back in locking mode. As you can see, it's not moving anymore. Single press again, and we're back in the default mode, the pan following mode. In each of these modes, you can also use the joystick right here to tilt the camera up and down and side to side. You can also control the gimbal in the same way, tilting side to side, up and down, wirelessly by using the app. Through the app, you can also recalibrate the gimbal entirely. As you can see, it becomes really easy to get smooth, cinematic footage. If you need to get lower angle shots, you could even flip the handle out the side to use the gimbal upside down, and this way your camera can get lower to the ground, or just use it in different styles. At the base of the Crane M, there's also a 1/4-inch tripod mount for mounting various accessories or mounting the gimbal right to a tripod. And that is everything you need to know to get started using the Crane M with either your GoPro or action cameras, a cell phone, or your point-and-shoot cameras.